guy, trying to make good, brought in another spoonful, and Martin also threw that into the hot tub. His way of expressing his anger at the homeless guy who'd been doing his wife and leaving him out of the equation was to throw hamburger meat into the hot tub he was in. People express themselves in strange ways. People are weird. There's no two ways about it. Bear that in mind when you're going through life and you can't make sense of people and what they're doing. And you're like, why is this person at work treating me this way? Why did this person in the street treat me this way? Bear this in mind. People are weird. They invite homeless men over for threesomes and then throw hamburger meat into their hot tub after they feel left out during the threesome. People are weird. They do weird things for weird reasons. Never forget that. People are so jacked in the head. Anyways, Michael brought another spoonful. Martin also threw that into the hot tub. And Michael, the homeless guy, who maybe misses the occasional meal, being the homeless man that he is, yelled at him about wasting food. That sent Martin, the husband, over the edge. Two guys started brawling. I would imagine, naked, because he was in the hot tub at the time with his wife. So there's naked guys fighting over spoonfuls of hamburger and throwing them into the hot tub. One of them is homeless. One of them is a man with a home who invited the homeless guy into the home to diddle his wife. Let's just bear this in mind because people are weird. And a brawl broke out. Martin was arrested and could get up to 10 years in jail for felony assault by strangulation. Yep. What's the moral of the story? I think the moral of the story is clear, simple, and easy to understand. It's a story as old as the hills. Don't invite homeless men into your home. Get angry when they have sex with your wife, even though you've asked them to have sex with your wife, and then throw hamburger meat into a hot tub and try and strangle them. That old chestnut, if I had a nickel. Yeah, people are strange. Speaking of strange people doing strange things, Funkhouser, do you have that audio of Joe Biden?
Yeah, here it goes.
My son is Attorney General a year in Iraq, came back, and that's one of the things that he finds was most in need. When he was over there in Iraq for a year, people would come to him and talk about what was happening at home in terms of foreclosures, in terms of bad loans that were these Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men while overseas.
Shylock. If you're not familiar... If you're not familiar with the historical and literary context, Shylock's a fictional character in Shakespeare's play The Merchant of Venice. He's like a Venetian Jewish moneylender. And he's basically, in the play, he's the bad guy. He is the principal antagonist of this particular Shakespearean tale. You know that pound of flesh situation? That expression, that comes from this. Shylock is a money lender, and he says to someone, hey, if you can't pay me the money that you owe me, I get my pound of flesh from you. I'm going to cut a pound of flesh from your body, and that'll be mine.
Shylock.
And he sticks to it. Now, he's Jewish, and he is portrayed as a villain. Now, because of the sort of more politically correct take on the play, he's portrayed more as a semi-tragic figure whose vengeful acts arise from being victimized as a Jew. This is the path. Nevertheless, as much as the take on Shylock has softened over the years, calling someone a Shylock is basically a Jewish slur. It's not a nice thing, and it's been trotted out on numerous occasions as a Jewish slur. It's not okay. Joe Biden, I don't think anybody really thinks Joe Biden hates Jews. And I don't think anybody really thinks that if he did hate Jews, he would choose to slip that into conversation surreptitiously whilst giving a speech that could potentially be heard by millions and millions of people, as it has now. Let's just hear that again. One more time, Funkhouser.
My son is Attorney General a year in Iraq, came back, and that's one of the things that he finds was most in need. When he was over there in Iraq for a year, people would come to him and talk about what was happening at home in terms of foreclosures, in terms of bad loans that were these Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men while overseas.
Yeah, he's apologized for using what is basically considered by a lot of people to be an anti-Semitic term during this speech. If only he hadn't ruined it by adding, and I blame it all on my dirty Mexican speechwriter. He didn't say that. I was satirizing, as is my God-given right, thanks to Larry Flint. But here's the thing. It was a mind-numbingly poor choice of words. It does not speak to his character or his integrity as a politician. But in his mind, he was making reference to this nefarious character in The Merchant of Venice, who's basically the ultimate predatory lender. And there was a crisis in this country, predatory lending. And when people were overseas ready to lay down their lives for our freedoms, thanks to this predatory lending, they were losing their houses. There were foreclosures and a lot of people that were able to make pay. You know, when you're at war, when you're being shot at on a regular basis, it can be kind of hard to respond to Wells Fargo in a timely manner, or whoever the hell your lender is. You don't always have the ability to stay current with absolutely everything. You can set your mortgage up to auto pay, but things change. Things move. Taxes change. I get something about my residence that I own probably about every 3 months being like, hey, this needs your attention and you have to do something different. My point is this. People on the right are so bent out of shape about this. They finally have some of that righteous indignation that the left uses on them at all times. They're able to be like, oh, racist, anti-Semite, we gotcha. We gotcha. One thing that's clear here, Joe Biden is an idiot that shouldn't be allowed to speak in public based on his choice of words in this particular instance. I don't think anybody's arguing that. But I don't think he actually hates Jews. And it's true, he should be held to the highest of all standards. But when we're talking about men and women who are willing to lay down their lives for the sake of our freedom at home, it's not really a gotcha moment. You're destroying the purpose of the whole thing, which is saying, hey, we need to do more for our men and women that are fighting for us. Don't turn this into a moment that takes away from that. Yeah, Joe Biden's an idiot. Does that mean you should be obsessed with punishing him when we should be lifting up our soldiers? No, it does not. Sometimes you feel good about